Hi everyone, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use this as a Monday motivation or just personal development or just a motivational video, but what I want to talk about is this concept that you have power over your mind doesn't have power over you. So this has come up because I was working with a client recently and they said something along the lines of, I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was something like, I don't feel like I've got control over my thoughts, or I don't feel like I have control over my mind. And then we had a really, really good session where we talked about this idea that you feed your mind certain things and then your mind feels like you want those things. So the more thoughts that you feed your mind with, whether it's worries, whether it's negative thoughts, the more you're feeding that, the more those thoughts are going to appear. And because your brain you're in control of your brain, you have power over your brain and what you feed it. So therefore, I don't believe in the idea of random thoughts. So I was saying to one of my clients recently, I wouldn't wake up one day and just start thinking about red cars, or, just wake up one day and start thinking about, or a thought wouldn't pop into my head about death, or a thought wouldn't just pop into my head about something random. There would have had to be a trigger. Either maybe I've watched a crime program and it showed like death in that program. So then when I went to sleep, that was still there. And so eventually that thought has found its way to me, but it was still had a trigger for it. Or maybe, I'd been sitting in a car park with lots of red cars. So because I'd seen that, then later down the line, the image of a red car has come up because I've already seen it. But what I'm trying to say is usually, not always, things are planted. So this is something important for people who have negative or spiraling or intrusive thoughts. Those thoughts have their origins from somewhere. So the thing to think about, and what I'm trying to get at really, is we have control over what we plant into our minds. We have control over what we can't control what we think to a certain degree. Your thoughts are going to just happen. But say if you are someone who has consistent habits, consistent behavior, consistent way of thinking, if you become that personal development person. So for me, because I've got certain ways of thinking, I'm usually quite optimistic. I'm usually quite resourceful. If something happens, I don't spend hours thinking about it. I don't wake up the next day thinking about what happened yesterday. I don't, have any self-deprecating thoughts towards myself. I don't have self-criticism. None of that is part of my DNA or blueprint or how I operate. So therefore, because I've trained my brain to think positively, or if there's an issue, straight away I come up with solutions. I'm quite quick at thinking of solutions or making decisions. That's how I've trained my brain to be. You can train your brain as well. So if you're someone who worries a lot, or you've got negative thinking, you can turn that around by just planting different things and way of operating. And that's how I helped my client yesterday. We came up with an action plan. And what that action plan was to do was to turn things around in her mind so that her mind knows what it is that she wants now. Because if she's always worrying, and then every day she's taking actions that are going to increase that worry, her brain thinks that's what she wants. She wants to have negative thoughts because she's going on YouTube and searching for negative things to watch, because she's sitting down there and writing in her diary or a journal negative thoughts. So we switch that around. What if you was to write down 5 things you're grateful for? Then your brain would think, oh, she likes this. What if you were to watch only positive, optimistic, encouraging and motivational things on YouTube? Then YouTube would recommend more of that. That's a good example, because if you go on YouTube and you watch lots of negative things, it will keep recommending more and more of the same. Whereas if you watch lots of positive things, it recommends more of the same. And the same goes with your brain. So all you need to do as a person is don't say that your brain has control over you. You have control over your brain. But what you need to do is to guide it in the right direction. It's not easy, but it's possible. So I'll talk more about this because I'm actually fascinated by things like this. I don't know if you guys are into this sort of stuff, but if you are, leave your comments, let me know what you think. But there's so much information out there. I'm not an expert on the brain. You've got people like John Assaraf. He talks about, he goes into depth. I've watched a lot of his YouTube videos. So he's someone that I would recommend. There's lots of books out there. But for me, yeah, I just think it's really important that we don't ever say, I'm not in control of my brain, or my thoughts are taking over, or we can't use language like that, because that was what the reality will become. You can say that I'm feeding my thoughts. I'm the one that is guiding my brain. I'm in control of my mind. And then when you say that and you put certain things in place, then you will regain that power that you already have. So thanks for watching. Please feel free to share this with other people. Leave your comments and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.